Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I'm your host, Kelly Keegs. Gia, we can't even get into the episode just yet because there's breaking news.
What?
Khloe Kardashian having a baby via surrogate with Tristan Thompson.
Shut the fuck
Can
up.
you believe it? I'm reading the article right now. TMZ, so we know it's real. Khloe Kardashian is having another baby with the same man who she broke up with, Tristan Thompson. Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the baby will be born via surrogate. We're told the birth is imminent within days.
What?
Another source says the baby may already have been born in the last day or so. What?
I am.
What are we doing? What are we doing, Khloe? What are we doing?
I'm speechless.
Speechless. It says.
Wait.
It says that, what's interesting, they broke up last December, so it would appear that they decided on the surrogacy before the split. So you're telling me this motherfucker is cheating on his birthday and doing all this bullshit, and then they decide that same year to have a surrogate baby, and then this all comes out in the middle of this surrogate being pregnant with Khloe's baby.
God.
That's fucking crazy. I would kill that man. I would literally.
I don't know how
kill
she
him dead.
hasn't. I really don't know how she hasn't. That is just, I can't help but just feel so bad for her. I know
feel
that
so bad for
it's
her.
like her choice. Like she keeps going back to him.
Of course.
But that sucks.
It sucks so bad, and this is the
She's
thing.
stuck with him forever.
Yes, first of all, you're right, she is so stuck with him forever. Like, there's nothing she can do about that. I also feel terribly for her because all she's ever wanted was like this family, and she's just always wanted kids, and she always wants to be like in the mix when it comes to the kids. I think that she just has hitched her wagon to this asshole, and we don't know everything always. Like, we always have to say that. We don't know everything. Maybe he's like the most wonderful man 90% of the time, and then the 10% is what we see all the time. But I highly fucking doubt it. I can't imagine, after all of these indiscretions, after all of this fucking drama, that Tristan Thompson's genes are worth all of this. Like, True is obviously a precious angel. Like, we're grace of God, we love her, she's a precious baby. To then bring another baby into this amidst all of this fucking drama, all these lies, deceit, betrayal, how the fuck is this poor woman going to recover emotionally? Like, obviously the baby will be fine. It has a loving, giant family. It will all be fine. How the fuck is this poor girl gonna continue to deal with all these trifling hoes? Like, I don't understand it. I just caught up on Kardashians, I think yesterday or the day before, and I watched the very last episode. I was so behind, but I was watching her talk a little bit about just like how hard this is and how she's already been through so much with Lamar, and she's trying not to fall into these things, and she just kind of has she's at a loss for words at this point. And then obviously the season ended, and so to be continued. But holy Christ, I don't even know what to say. People are buzzing. Let me get another look. Again, this was just tweeted 10 minutes before we started. The replies are fucking crazy. And I feel extra bad because all these people are tagging her in it, being like, girl, what is you doing? I'm like, come on. I almost want everybody to be like, just to leave her alone. Like, I don't know. If this baby is literally born at any moment, I don't know what to say. I don't even know
I wonder what
to say.
her name is going to be.
I know, right? Yeah, right.
Truth and lie.
Truth and lie. Fuck, yeah, that was really funny. Honestly, Liza Minnelli, what's it gonna be? I'm verklempt on behalf of this poor woman, and I can't believe that she's going through this. But thank God she has this giant fucking family that's full of love to really help her through it. Oh, what a start! What a start to the situation. Today, speaking of, I guess, all these reply guys, all these assholes replying and tagging her and being like, what are you doing? The topic of today's show is trolls. And I'm not talking about Trolls the movie. People did ask if that's what I was talking about. And while I do love that movie, and I do love Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick together in an animated movie, I could talk about that for an hour probably. It's not about that kind of trolls. It's also not about the troll dolls, which I had many of. I had a lot of troll dolls with the hair that sticks up. They're always naked. I feel like they never have clothes. I don't know what that's about, but I had a million trolls of those. No, today we're talking about internet trolls. And this was inspired by a little blog that I wrote on Monday, something that happened over the weekend where Florence Pugh, my fucking bitch. I love Florence Pugh. I have a group chat on Instagram with my two really good friends called Florence Stans. Like literally we just send each other shit back and forth about Florence Pugh like being perfect and being amazing. She wore a sheer Valentino dress to a fashion show in Rome. I think it was just a Valentino show and she was there and whatever. And the dress was sheer on top. You could see her nipples through the dress. And she got a bunch of trolls in her Instagram comments calling her flat-chested, being like, damn, like she's got no boobs, like damn, what does it matter, whatever. Boy, oh boy, did that get my blood fucking pumping. Because I don't know, I'm definitely majorly sensitive to people making fun of people with small boobs because I've had small boobs my whole life. I've had people make fun of me for that my whole life. So it definitely struck a chord like personally. But I also see it happen a lot and it pisses me the fuck off because I don't care how confident you are in your body, how comfortable you are in your body, hearing those things and hearing that you like lack something, that the only way it can be up to par for the standards of these commenters is if you like get surgery. Like the only way for Florence Pugh to have big boobs is to get big boobs surgically implanted in herself. So why the fuck are we pointing out this woman's breasts? Like, what are we doing here? She looked fucking gorgeous, by the way. She's objectively hot. I don't understand why anybody even had a bad thing to say about it. I really don't. But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about all of the trolls over the years that I've seen, that I've gotten, that my friends have gotten, that celebrities get all over the place. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of these assholes, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in their minds. And I would just honestly I would love if a real life troll called this line. They probably won't because they like to be anonymous and God forbid we even hear their voice. But if you are a troll or you know a troll or you have a story about a troll, give us a call at any point throughout the show. The number is 888-786-6522 or 888-STOOL22 if you're not familiar with the touchpad. So, okay. I want to start off. I love starting things off with definitions. If you were a fan of Because We Got High, you know this. I love a definition on something. It just kind of brings us to a point where we're all on the same page, and then we can move our judgments forward from that. The definition of a troll, as according to Wikipedia on google.com, is, in internet slang, a troll is a person who posts inflammatory, insincere, digressive, extraneous, or off-topic messages in an online community with the intent of provoking readers into displaying emotional responses or manipulating others' perception. Now, I think that most of us know like what a troll is, but I think that actually summed it up pretty well as far as what trolls are doing, like why they do what they do, because they're trying to garner a reaction, and they fucking love getting a response from somebody. They love getting that reaction. They love when people are mad. They love like anticipating a kind of reaction to something. And so my personal favorite thing to do is to consistently highlight trolls. I love to quote tweet somebody talking shit about me and make them feel stupid, or at least I feel like I'm making them feel stupid, because all they want is attention. So please, by all means, I'll give you the attention that you want. It might not be in the way that you want, but you'll certainly get it. And I just think that it goes so deep. Like there are so many weird Netflix documentaries, Hulu documentaries, whatever kind of streaming service you want to say. I think each one at this point has a different kind of like, I don't know, I guess documentary style show where it talks about these like internet trolls that go on and they sit behind the computer and they're just freaks all the time. They're always freaks. But the problem is they're not always just freaks. Sometimes it's you and me. Sometimes it's somebody down the fucking street. Sometimes it's somebody that I'm sitting next to in my office. Sometimes it's you know, it could be my parents. My dad could be a troll. My mom could be a troll. My brother, who knows? Who knows who is a troll? They're so hard to spot. They're so sneaky. They're so weird. So I tried to come up with a couple of reasons why trolls do what they do. And the first one I had was that they're angry. Trolls are just angry. They're angry people. They want to watch the world burn. They are mad at themselves, or they're mad at something online, or they're feeling unjust somehow. They feel like there is some sort of like unjust situation happening at the moment. And they just you know, they lash out. They want to lash out. They want to tear people down. These are the kind of people that I think were like commenting on Florence Pugh's shit. They're just angry. They're just rude. They're just fucking moronic, and they just come through and they make these comments and they say this bullshit, and it releases some kind of anger and tension within them. It makes them feel like, ha, I fucking got him. Like, got him. You know, like that's that fucking. I hate it. I hate it so much. I think it's insane. But I don't quite understand, you know, the mindset of that, of being so angry that you just like berate someone you don't know. I understand going after people you do know. Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm sitting here like I've never written a mean comment online. I definitely have, but certainly under my own name. Like, I have no problem talking shit to anybody's face via the internet, so whatever. The second one I have is that they're sad. They might just be sad as fuck, you know? Maybe they're sad with their own lives, they see what somebody else has. It's basically just, they're coveting thy neighbor, I guess you could say, if we're talking about the Bible. I think that, I don't know if I'm ever so sad that I need to tear other people down. That might even be a lie. I might have just lied. I'm thinking in ways like the only people I'm ever wishing that I could like make feel bad are people that have like done things to me already. Like, there's never a time where I see someone random on the internet, or I see a celebrity, or I see a like fake influencer celebrity or anything like that, where I'm gonna go out of my way and try to ruin their day because of my personal mood. So that's just not, I don't quite understand the sadness one about it, but I know there's a lot of sad ass, like gross, you know, just disgusting people, again, sitting behind the keyboard and saying whatever the fuck they want. That kind of leads in a little bit to the next one, which is that they're insecure. They're just insecure. They are, again, back to coveting what other people have. They just don't feel good about themselves, and they don't want anybody to feel good either. They feel like trash. They feel like garbage. Maybe they have a shitty job. Maybe they still live in their mother's basement. That's always like the typical, like a troll lives in his mother's basement and never leaves and just like plays video games and is a mean commenter and whatever. It all stems from insecurity. Like, people get so fucking jealous of other people. And I am no exception. I certainly have been jealous of people online. Everybody gets jealous when they go on Instagram. They see half the fucking world's in Italy. Gia, looking at you. Which, by the way, Gia, before I even go on, how was your trip? Your trip looked unfucking believable, obviously. I'm always so jealous.
I ate way too much food.
Love it.
Drank a lot of wine.
Perfect.
And just really enjoyed myself.
You looked like you enjoyed yourself.
Yes.
And again, I was very fucking jealous, and I almost commented like, fuck you on your Instagram. Like, I almost was like, literally, fuck this bitch. Like, how dare she even be in Italy right now? I also saw you got some good goodies when you were over there. I watch your TikToks when you are doing your hauls. I also almost texted you this when I was watching, but I saved it for this show. You are like, when I watch your TikTok, you're the definition of like, bitches be shopping. You shop more than anyone I know, and I am so jealous. Like, every day, it's like, I got a mini haul, just a couple things. I just bought some stuff online. I'm like, this motherfucker, like, she's always shopping. I want to shop that much. I'm so jealous.
No, it's bad.
No, it's not.
Like,
shop.
I lose all of my money because I just shop.
It's the
I have
best
an
way to lose it.
addiction.
It's the best way to lose it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I spend all my money on like fucking food and dumb shit and like, you know, like stupid Amazon purchases that I don't need. And you're out here buying like the cutest like Italian jewelry of all time. And I'm like, motherfucker, what am I doing? So I'm jealous, Gia. Bitches be shopping. That's you.
I be shopping, legit.
But yeah, like I said, trolls come through. They're insecure. They want what other people have, and they just, you know, they want to make your life hell. Next I have, let's see, second to last, is that they think it's funny. This is the one that I truly don't get. But this one is like the deepest trolls, I think, are the ones that think it's funny. Like, they think it's hilarious to get a rise out of someone online or to get a rise out of whatever. And I think it, again, goes back to that like sense of accomplishment. Like, they need to feel like they have altered someone's day in some way. And that's when I'm watching all those weird documents. I watched, documentaries. One I watched the other day had something to do with like, swatting. It was some shit, and swatting, for people that don't know, is something I also had to Google, obviously, is when you put out someone's address online. This happens a lot on like Twitch and Reddit and stuff, and like in the gamer atmosphere. It's like, you know, gamer lingo, I guess, is to swat somebody, and it's where they put their address online and they call they call like the SWAT team and they call in like an anonymous tip, like there's a bomb in that house or there's something going on in that house, like you got to get over there ASAP. And then a random unsuspecting person who's just had their information leaked online gets bombarded with like a fucking SWAT team. And this happened to a man who they like gave the wrong address or something fucking crazy, and this guy like died. He was shot by the SWAT team. It's like a fucked up thing that people do. I never quite understand it. It's really insane. But let's hit a break really quick, and then we'll get back to the last one. And you can call me if you want, 888-STOOL22. And welcome back to On the Other Line. We're talking about trolls, internet trolls, not the dolls or the movie. So as I was saying, I'm still stuck on the trolls that think it's funny. I think that, I can talk in circles about this for a really long time, but I was talking about that documentary where like the swatting thing and whatever and blah, blah, blah. That to me is like, and they were interviewing the guy that did it. Like they either caught him or that he was doing interviews or something. He was like super proud of it. He loved it. And something that he said, he was like, I just wanted to be the cause of like something crazy. Like at first he had called in a bomb threat to a news station like while they were on air, and he was like watching it in real time and wanted to watch them all like scramble and get up and have to get off the news and like get out of the building and shit. What the fuck kind of power trip is that? Like I just don't understand it. Like I guess it's power. Like I guess it's just the wanting to feel the power over something and like laughing about it. I guess that's just so fucked. Like, why don't you just go to therapy, man? Like, I understand like therapy's expensive. It's annoying to go, but like, if you're getting joy out of like ruining people's lives, actually, not just even as low as like the comments. Like people kill themselves over internet comments. You know what I mean? Like there are all these teenagers out here who are like literally killing themselves. Like I'm not even like trying to be blunt or like whatever. That's just a fact. I think that it's so insane to even consider trolling people as funny. And I think that maybe they think it's funny because it is fun online to like poke fun with your friends and to laugh with your friends and like little jabs and like jokes and whatever. Like that's all fine. I love to joke around. I love to bust balls. Like that's super fun. I think these people just take that notion of like busting balls and having fun with your friends online to a level that none of us can comprehend. Like none of us know what the fuck is going through these people's minds. And I can't, like, I don't know. I kind of think acting like all those things are okay are a stepping stone to something worse. Like maybe you're too much of a pussy to like, I don't know, like shoot someplace up, but you're not too much of a pussy to call other people in to do it yourself. Like I don't understand like where any of that comes into play, and it's just something I don't get. I just really don't get it. The last thing that I kind of boil down to this situation is just that they're bored. People are bored online. People scroll infinitely, and they just, they get in their heads. Maybe people are up late. I know I'm up super late all the time on TikTok. I don't as much anymore now that I have more followers on TikTok because it's embarrassing, but I used to constantly comment on TikToks. Like I was a big TikTok commenter, not in a bad way, just would always be like, LMAO, I get it, or like, LOL, hilarious, or like, this is so me. Like I'm always commenting those things on people's TikToks, and I just have stopped because it's like, it's so clear that I'm high in my bed at 2 in the morning and commenting on Instagrams or on TikToks. But I just feel like there are so many people who will do that for hours and hours. I watched some show, I cannot remember who or what the show was. It might have been my girl Michelle Collins hosted it, I think, has a radio show and is fabulous if you don't know her. But she, I'm pretty sure she was the host. And it was like, she would go up to these people and ask them about their like bad habits online and all the like stalking that they would do of their exes and like their bad habits when it came to like, checking their phone or being on their phone or whatever. And I always thought that I was a little crazy with my phone. Like I just am like, yeah, especially when, I was going through a breakup or something and I was just like refreshing constantly and looking all the time. And like, I thought I was the height of crazy. No one could ever be as crazy as I was. And turns out I was very fucking wrong. People are outside of their minds. They view their phone as like a super private place for them to do whatever the fuck they want. And I just feel like that's not true. Like I definitely will like search things on my phone or do things on my phone, and I don't necessarily think people are like watching my phone. But if you think the things that you do on your phone aren't accessible by the fucking police if you do something wrong, you're stupid. Like you're outside of your mind. There is no way that you're going to get away with some shady shit, truly. Like, you're just not going to. And I don't care how deep your burner accounts go. It's just like, we're going to find you. There's always a way to do it. And the boredness of these people is just, I don't know. I don't know what else they could do with their time. Maybe they could read a book. Maybe they could go outside. Maybe they could surf the internet. Maybe they can go fucking shopping. Like, they can do literally anything but what they're doing, and I just don't get it. Gia, are you a Reddit person at all?
Honestly, like, kind of.
How do you use it? Like, how do you use Reddit?
I use Reddit, like, if I have a really obscure question.
Okay.
And, like, I Google it, and Reddit, like, kind of comes up with that. Like, it's like, where do I find this blue shirt from 2007? You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a good way to use it.
Like when I had my ear piercing infection, I looked up, like, why did I get this weird red bump, like, for my tragus? And then, like 10 years ago, someone on Reddit, like, got the same weird bump on their tragus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't really scroll through it, but I use it. I get notifications from it, and I haven't turned them off. So, like, if I see something, like, honestly, sometimes I read the Barstool Reddit too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That makes sense. I feel like, yeah, if you're looking for something specific on Reddit, I'm trying to like change my opinion on Reddit just because I have such a salty opinion on it, mostly because of like the Barstool Reddit's a trash heap mostly. But whenever I have friends, and I have so many friends, and I think I've talked shit about Reddit before on here, definitely, but I have a lot of friends that use it religiously. I have a lot of friends that use it as like a leisure website. Like, I feel like when I was growing up, there were always websites that you would go visit. Like, you know, I'd come home from school, I'd do all my homework, whatever, you know, and I would have a snack, and then I'd go on the computer, and I would have my, like, certain websites that I would go to, and I definitely don't have that anymore. Like, that's not something I do all the time. I mean, I click on like, articles and stuff I see through Twitter. I'll go to the Barstool website, to be honest. I'll see, it's part of my job to be looking at what's going on, but it is a good, like, source of news, and I know what's happening, like, inside these walls. But I think that the people that are still going to Reddit and just like perusing it, I'm always like a little questionable about you. I'm like, what are you up to? Like, are you just trying to learn things? Are you trying to like research stuff? Like, what is it exactly that's going on? And I feel like in my mind, because of the Barstool Reddit or because of other experiences I've had with Reddit, it's very much like a troll paradise. Like, that's where shit goes if you want to like look up some mean stuff about people. I also think, I don't know why I think this, and I must have like learned about Reddit the same time I learned about the dark web, because I just equate the two constantly. Like, I feel like if I wanted to get on the dark web, I would start at Reddit. Like, I don't know if that would even be true or whatever, but it certainly feels true and it certainly feels real. And I have a friend who works there. I don't know if she still works there. I think so. But she like loved it and was just like, oh no, like you just have to like use it right and whatever. And I feel like I maybe should start making an effort like that. I have been on the Bachelor Reddit before, and the Bachelor Reddit is interesting because I didn't think that there were so many people in the world that were so crazy about the Bachelor as I was. And again, maybe I'm just a narcissist. Like, maybe I just assume I am the only one with all these original thoughts. I'm certainly not. And that's an interesting one to look at. They always have spoilers and shit on there though, so you gotta be careful. I will say, if people are spoiling on like a no spoilers whatever, it's hilarious to see the outrage. Like, by the time I ever get there, it'll be whatever the spoiler was will have been deleted, and it'll be 30 comments under it being like, fuck you for spoiling, fuck this, like what's your fucking problem? Like, we haven't all seen the show, you know, blah 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 blah. I appreciate those people who get hype over the spoilers, because I am someone who does not like spoilers, especially for The Bachelor. I've made that very clear. Never spoil it to me. I know that Reality Steve posts every single thing that happens. I want nothing to do with him or with that. Gia, do you know that I interviewed Reality Steve one time?
No,
on my old podcast. Yeah, on Wine with Kelly. My old podcast, I interviewed Reality Steve one time, and I was psyched to have him as a guest. I was like, oh my God, yes, Reality Steve. I've read his shit for years, although I do read it late because I don't want shit spoiled, like I said. And I always kind of liked it. And then somewhere along the way, he took some kind of turn. I think he started getting like this feeling of power about The Bachelor. I'm not kidding. Like, he, to me, is kind of a professional troll. Like, he gets paid to be a troll. He says nothing nice about the people on The Bachelor. He just spoils the show, talks shit about everybody, delivers all the bad news about how all these people are, like, fucking each other and whatever. and that was it. But when I interviewed him, I feel like he had interesting things to say, but his attitude rubbed me the wrong way. He was very pompous about like what he was doing. Like you would have thought he was, performing open heart surgery every single Monday at 8 p.m. Like I don't know. It was a weird interview. He's a weird guy. And I think that, I don't know, people like that shit. And that's where, again, I'm kind of stuck. I'm like, I don't know who's in the wrong here. Like, am I in the wrong for thinking badly about all these people, or do I like get in the masses and keep it going? Another professional troll is someone like Perez Hilton. Like, I know that, he can fall into the category of like tabloid, obviously, and all that shit. And I guess Reality Steve could too, but the way that they report their news is just so fucking bitchy. And I think that that's what it is that makes them trollish, in my opinion. And I think that a lot of people just kind of write it off as gossip. Do you think, Gia, do you ever read the blind items?
Yes.
I love the blinds.
I used to read them way more.
Same.
I don't really read them as much anymore because I feel like they're always, I'm mixing it up with, what the hell? Dumois.
Oh, Dumois. Well, Dumois is just like the new blinds. Like they're just like easily digestible blinds. I don't know how I feel about Dumois these days. I'll be honest. I'm afraid to say it. But I don't know
because she's like, I don't know, she's like kind of powerful, but she's also like kind of not a troll, but
a little bit.
She's just like like a stalker. I just don't like how she obviously she doesn't post people's locations like in real time. Sure. But I don't like how she posts celebrities' locations.
It is like, a little weird. It's a little off-putting.
Can't they just go somewhere like without like having everyone know that they were there, and then like they probably won't be able to go there again because everyone saw on Dumois that they were there.
I know. Dumois ruined Carbone, in my opinion. Like, Carbone's ruined. Like, thankfully I've been before, because God forbid if I try to go now, it's like I can't even fucking get in.
Yeah.
But someone like Dumois, I'll talk a little bit of shit about her. I think that I understand why she does what she does. I obviously follow it because I'm interested. I don't click through it like I used to. I used to really, like, when it first kind of got some tracks, I was really clicking it a lot, being like, this is so interesting. Oh my God, someone spotted Andy Cohen walking in the West Village, with Ben in a stroller. Like, that's amazing. But now it's kind of weird. Also, I think that, I think her attitude kind of sucks. Like, I think that her responses to people when they ask questions are as if they're really fucking stupid. Like, she writes in like run-on sentences as if she's on the move and on the go and just has no fucking time for anybody who's asking questions. I don't know, like, that's just her. That's her vibe. I don't know her at all. I don't know who she is. I just know that her attitude kind of blows. So that's my thoughts on her. But she, in my opinion, is kind of like a modern version of the blinds, which I think some people might know just on their own. Some people might know. I had never heard of the blinds before until I started watching a long time ago when Girl with No Job and her sister Jackie have a show, and they were always talking about the blinds, and I just like had no idea what they were talking about, and I finally figured it out. And the website is nearly impossible to navigate. It's like Fenty Lawyer, I think is the guy's name. I'm not sure like what, I don't know the details.
I think you got it right, Fenty Lawyer.
Fenty Lawyer, I don't know.
I know, and then it's like.
What's the name of the website?
Is it not like Blind Item? Like.
No, it's got like a funny name. Let me see.
I'm looking it up. Blind Items, Fenty Lawyer.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Fenty Beauty.
I know, same. I have no idea.
Crazy Days and Nights?
Crazy Days and Nights, yes, okay, yes, that's the name.
It's
crazy.
NT Lawyer.
NT Lawyer.
Yeah.
Fenty?
Yeah, Fenty.
Fenty colliding
Fenty
with
Beauty
Rihanna.
Lawyer, yeah.
God.
Yeah, Crazy Days and Nights.
Crazy Days and Nights, that's the name I'm looking for.
Yeah, it is like so, so the navigation of it is just so
it's terrible.
bad.
Well, it's like a 1998 website. It's like just the worst website.
So many ads.
Covered in ads, which I'm sure is what pays the bills. You know what I mean? Like, how else can a website like that pay bills? It's not like any real brands can pay them because they're just like literally spewing rumors and gossip, which a lot of the time it ends up being true, which is what's so crazy about it and what's so compelling about going to these places. And I can't ever decide if people like that are just, if they're confused as to what they're reading, people that read these things, if they're confused as to what they're reading or if they like very much believe it as fact. And I feel like there are a lot of people in this world who read all these things and don't take it with like a bit of tongue in cheek. Like they are just 100% sure that it's fact. And that's just how these rumors get going, you know? That's how they continue on forever and ever. Let's hit another break. Call in if you'd like, 888-786-6522. And welcome back yet again on the other line, your host, Kelly Keegs. We're talking about trolls, internet trolls. We were just talking about blind items and the websites that have existed over the years that were like solely for talking shit and like for the purpose of, you know, trolling, I guess, for the purpose of just making people feel like shit, you know, I don't know, whatever. And I do feel like those kind of websites contribute to that. And well, so anyway, I feel like I didn't explain fully like what a blind item is. So the blind items are basically whispers people hear in like the celebrity space, and they'll submit these rumors to Crazy Days and Nights, and then they will post the rumor but take out all the names and everything, and it'll be like this A-list, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example, like this A-list starlet from Youth has been like hooking up with so-and-so and like for this action movie star or whatever. And it'll be like, you know, Drew Barrymore and Chris Pine have been hanging out or something stupid like that. Obviously that is not real. None of that is real. But it'll kind of lead you to believe who it is, and then the comments are all people guessing on who it is. And the comments are like, it's obviously this person, it's obviously this. I know when Selena Gomez was on there a lot. It was like this like A-list ex-Disney star has been in and out of rehab like for cocaine and blah, blah, whatever. And her pop star boyfriend has had enough. And it was like Selena, oh my God, it's Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Like he's had enough and whatever. And I remember seeing all that shit and being like, holy fuck. But then if you keep reading in the comments, there's all these people being like, you know, discussing this fake possible rumor. And it's wild how people just go off the fucking rails with it. Like they really go nuts with these different theories, these different ideas, and it just puts people in a tailspin. And I guess that's what compels them to comment, compels them to say something. And I don't really know, but I think, you know, I'm talking about these websites, I'm talking about Reddit and whatever, but I think that the true home of the trolls has to be Twitter. It has to be Twitter. It is so easy to make a Twitter account of nothing. Like it is so easy to just reply to tweets, quote tweet people, send messages, like do whatever you want to do, making people feel like shit. And I think that it makes it, like, I think sometimes trolls on Twitter specifically think that when they're tweeting at a celebrity or tweeting at an influencer or somebody with like any sort of following whatsoever, I feel like they think like, oh, whatever, I can just say this. They don't care. Just brush off the haters. Like, who gives a fuck? You know, they won't even see this, blah, blah, blah. I see everything. And it's not like I'm trying to see everything, but I look at all the replies to my tweets, because it's not like I get that many. I only get like 5 or 6 if it's a good tweet. And then my DMs, I have my DMs open for like, you know, nice messages and people asking me regular questions, but the trolls and the creeps I definitely ignore. But I think that people just assume that they're gonna fade into the background or fall into nothing, and that's just almost never the case. I think that maybe on Instagram it's easier, people who get like 1 million comments, like the comments under Kim Kardashian's photos, it's like she has thousands and thousands. It's like obviously she doesn't look at all the comments. Like how could she would have, there's not enough time in the day. She'd be glued to her phone the whole time. But for someone who's not as famous as that, they see everything that you do. So I don't know, like, again, why people still are doing this. And also, I have gotten really personally good at, I don't remember people online anymore unless I actually know them in real life. Like, I won't recognize names, I won't recognize profile pics, like, I won't recognize any of those things. I've gone, like, face blind to that, like Brad Pitt. Did you hear? Wait, I want to talk about that really fast. Gia, did you hear that shit about Brad Pitt? Being like, people think I'm an asshole because I can't remember people's faces.
No.
So he has this whole thing going on right now where I guess for years he's been talking about how he has had trouble remembering people's names and faces, and so whenever he meets them, he'll like meet them again a year later or down the road or something like that, and he can't remember them. And people think he's an asshole.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh, he couldn't even take the time to like remember me, or like we've worked together so many times, it's so fucked up, whatever. But I guess for years he's been like, this is just a thing I have. Like I don't know anybody else like this.
Honestly, I get that.
I get it too.
Yeah. I'm
I don't
so
think he's an
bad.
asshole for that.
I'm so bad at remembering people's names.
Yeah.
For example, I was in the subway and I saw a girl that I went to college with, and she was in my sorority. Like, she's from New Jersey. Like, I knew her.
That's the worst.
And
yeah.
then I'm talking to her, and I cannot remember her name to save my life. And my friends were like, "How the hell could you not remember her name? Like, she was literally in our sorority."
Sometimes it
my
happens.
brain just goes blank, and I
Yes.
can't remember. And he's Brad Pitt, so he's meeting so many people.
He meets a
and
million
working
people
with-
a
yeah.
day. He meets a
So-
million people a day, and people are on his shit about not remembering. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
so much so.
It's Brad Pitt. Like, he doesn't-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you should be so lucky he even is speaking to you, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
he's got other
or like,
shit
at least
to do.
he's trying.
Right, totally. At least he's polite. That's what I'm saying. It's not like he's being so rude, like, fuck you, I don't even want to speak to you. Like, he's genuinely being nice in his forgetfulness. He just doesn't get it. But I think it's hilarious that, like, over the years, he's had to, on numerous occasions, talk about this issue. And I guess, like, last week or something, it came out again, and he was like, people just don't understand it. Like, I'm looking for someone else. Like, he's desperately trying to get to the bottom of whatever disorder he's, like, put on himself. And he is desperately looking for someone else who, like, feels the same and also can't remember people or anything. And I think it's hilarious. But that's kind of how I go about seeing things on the internet now. Like, I rarely remember, like, who has tweeted something, who has, what their profile pictures are, like, anything like that. Can never remember. Don't even know what it's like. So I guess that's helpful to me personally if people are, like, struggling with trolls or whatever. I also think that there are just people who are relentless. Like, once you like highlight a troll or comment on them or acknowledge them, most oftentimes they'll just stop. Like, they'll change their minds. They'll get embarrassed that you noticed them. They'll get embarrassed that you gave them the shine that they wanted, but they, like, are nervous if it's not received well. Like, I'll get somebody to respond to me that's like, fuck you, fuck you, you look stupid. I'll post a picture where I think I look cute. People are like, oh, well, actually, you look fucking busted. Your hair looks dry, and you're an asshole. And I'm like, all right, well, yes, my hair is dry. Thank you for pointing that out. It is, like, literally currently. And now I feel self-conscious, and I'm gonna go deep condition for a couple of hours. But you're gonna best believe that I will quote tweet you and be like, yeah, you're right. My hair is fucking dry, and now I gotta go deep condition. And then I'll get a bunch of people responding to that, being like, "What? Who's taking time out of their day to even say this, whatever?" And then usually, without fail, the troll will then, like, delete his tweet, and he's embarrassed, and he doesn't want it to get back to him because people don't cover their tracks. Like, it's easy to find out who is behind these burner accounts. And I think that people just kind of try to hide in the shadows, and then the minute they get a little bit of light, they freak the fuck out, and they're like, oh my God, did I cover my shit well enough? Did I, is my boss gonna find out? Am I gonna get fired? One of the craziest things, I can't remember if I've told this story on here or not, but I've definitely said before how I was the plane breakup tweeter. That was my shit, and I got a lot of hate for it. And that was, like, the peak troll time in my life for sure. But that got so real to the point where people were calling my place of work. Like, where I was working at the time, it had nothing to do with media. I was, like, in sales for, like, a very niche company. Like, it was not, the company maybe had, like, 30 people in it in the US office, and, like, maybe 30 people in Canada. And it was, like, a very small, like, family type situation. And some freak was, like, calling on repeat the CFO of our company saying that I need to lose my job and all this shit and whatever. And that was obviously terrifying. I think I was, like, 23 or 24 at the time. So fucking horrifying. Like, I had just moved to New York. I wasn't about to lose my fucking job over, like, some freak calling in. And thankfully, everybody in the office and my boss at the time was like, no, we know this is bullshit. It's fine. But people get carried away. And I don't know what sparks this anger, what sparks these emotions that they feel the need to, like, bring this into someone else's life or insert themselves into someone else's life like that. I just don't get it. And I guess you could argue that, like, people like me or people like us at Barstool or anybody who reports on the news, reports on gossip, reports on things that are happening in the world, I wouldn't call us all trolls just because we have an opinion on something that happened. It's only when you are, like, literally hammering these people constantly and making them feel like shit. And I don't know. But celebrities definitely get it the worst. You can always see it in the comments of people's Instagram. I think Instagram is probably the worst, or Instagram photo comments are some of the like meanest people. Like Twitter definitely is the home of trolls. Like that's without question. They all live there. They fucking love Twitter. It's just like a free for all. You can say whatever you want. You can post whatever you want. You won't get banned or whatever. Instagram is definitely better with like hate speech stuff and all that other bullshit. But people find ways to like make fun. Like they'll make fun of somebody in like a creative way. And it's like, oh fuck, that actually is hurtful. So, like kind of going all the way back to Florence Pugh. And I think that, we're just living in this world. We got to deal with these trolls. We got to deal with this part of our lives. This is what we have become. This is what the internet has made us, and there's really nothing we can do about it. So let's hit our last break, and then let's come back and answer some DMs. And welcome back to On the Other Line. Let us get into our last call segment and answer a few DMs. Let's see, Gia, what do we got over there? I think we have like 6 or so. We power through them. I think we should power through them.
Let's check. I think we have 6 on the dot.
Fabulous. Oh, somebody prepared today. Okay, let's see. What do we got for the first one? I'm also looking very tan in this light today. Just pointing that out. I did spend some time at the shore, for those who are jealous. This is Trolls. Keeps the world in check. Now, I don't know if I would go as far as to say we need the world to be kept in check as far as trolls go. I think the world needs to be kept in check in other ways. I don't know if, like maybe that is it. Maybe that's why some trolls are like, you know what? We feel like these people need to be knocked down a few pegs. They're flying high. Like we need to humble them. Like,
yeah,
I don't
Kelly,
know.
How do you feel about like this, like, I feel like this is the thing on the internet, like bring back bullying. Like people say that you can't like bully anymore.
Yes. Okay, that's a complicated answer because I do sometimes feel like a little bullying is you can't say that.
You just like
sometimes you gotta sometimes you have to be real. Here's the thing.
Not
it's like,
bully, but you need to be like
you need to be real with
yes.
people. You need to tell them what the fuck is going on. I am a huge proponent of this because I feel like I have friends that in college, I value my college friends very much because I feel like they are very blunt like I am, and so it was always very like our conversations are always very honest and transparent and like vulnerable and whatever, so they're really good friends to have. And my high school friends are just the same, but in high school it's more like we're just trying to fucking survive, so we're all gonna be nice to each other and we're all just gonna like pump each other up no matter what, even if we need to be told like some real shit. And I think that maybe if I was like, I don't know, I think the bullying helps a little bit, especially if it's maybe only, I'll say that, only if it's people that you like know already and trust already and you like need to be brought back down to earth. Like you need people in your life to do that for you sometimes. And in that case, I'm like, yeah, sure, you need to be bullied. Also, again, kind of goes back to like busting balls. Like we can always bust each other's balls. Like if I post some like complete thirst trap on my Instagram, yes, I expect my friends to comment that I look like a hot bitch, but I also expect some of them to be like, okay, bitch, like we get it, you're full of yourself. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I like that balance. And yeah, sometimes people just need to be, they need a blunt friend. They need somebody who's blunt. And is it sometimes sounds a little bit like bullying? Yeah, sure. Yeah, it does. So maybe this person keeps the world in check. It's maybe not so absurd to think like that. I still feel like you don't need to like rally attack someone day after day. Like that kind of, we don't need that. That's a little extreme. Okay, let's do the next one. They need to go, this is again, Trolls. They need to go to Indeed.com and fill out a job application. Yes, this goes right back to the never-ending theory that everybody who's a troll on the internet, a relentless troll, will just sit in their mom's basement. They are jobless, they are sad, they are angry, they're insecure, they're like a piece of shit, and they just want other people to feel bad. So yes, head on to Indeed.com, get yourself a fucking job, and maybe take up some of your time. Like, we need to fill the time in our day so we don't sit on our phones and berate other people. Like, that's just what I think we've come to at this point. I think that if you're busy at work, you don't have time to be like coming at other people. You don't have time to be commenting about Florence Pugh's tiny tits. Like you don't have that kind of thought going through your head because you are fucking exhausted from work and you woke up at 7 a.m. and you got there and you grinded all day and then you went home, you made dinner and you passed out like watching Harry Potter or something. You know what I mean? Like it could just be that. It's ridiculous. Let's see the next one. Nothing worse than a family member being a troll. My brother's comments are puke-worthy. that is tough. I am so thankful that I made a joke earlier that like maybe my whole family could be trolls. They're not, thank fucking God, because first of all, they never would be, because none of us would ever allow it. Like my brother and we're 7 years apart. He's 7 years younger than me. So it's our age difference is funny, and it was funny growing up, but somehow we still like think exactly the same. We're still very much in sync with like what's happening on the internet, what's happening in real life. Like if my parents ever were acting trollish, we would call them out in 2 fucking seconds. And I also think that like if my mom ever found out that I or my brother was writing mean comments online and spreading all this hate vitriol, like I think that she'd punch me in the face. She'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? What kind of person are you? I didn't raise this like dumb bitch. Like literally, who are you? Like she would never, ever allow behavior like that. And I wouldn't want her to. Like I would never want anybody to like allow that kind of behavior. And I feel bad for this girl, or could be a guy, I don't know, whose brother is dealing with it. Although I will say, if my brother were up to some bullshit, I would let him the fuck know. I would be like, Sam, you gotta cut the shit. It's time. I'm taking away all your accounts. I'm hacking in. I'm telling mom. I'm getting people involved because you're embarrassing yourself and by extension, embarrassing me. So we can't have that happening. No. I feel bad for this girl. They're sad people who are unhappy and hate themselves. Their words still hurt others. Yeah, like that's, at the end of the day, people get their feelings hurt. I don't care how famous you are. I don't care how much you don't read the comments. I don't care how comfortable you are in your own skin, like all that other bullshit. When you get an onslaught of hate all the time, it hurts your feelings. Like as much as you want to separate from it and live in the real world and not be worrying about what's happening online, the majority of our lives are lived online these days. Like we just are always on fucking line, like constantly, and it's infuriating. Like I wish I wasn't online as much as I am. I feel like last week when we had a whole week off. You guys saw an episode though, because we pre-recorded it because we're queens. But we were off all last week, and it's really nice when the whole company is off versus like I could take vacation for sure if I want. But when everyone's off, there's nothing to be like worried about, and there's nothing to be keeping up with as far as like work or what people are talking about or whatever. So I was just off the fucking grid all last week, and it was like the greatest thing ever. Like I just wish I could live my life like that, but I can't. Not because. One, because I don't want to. I like to be plugged in. As much as I loved the reprieve, I like to be plugged in. And two, it's my job. And a lot of people have a kind of job where you have to be online, especially celebrities, have to keep relevant and whatever. And, they have to go home and cry on their pillow every night. And sure, it's like crying in a pile of money or whatever. But I don't know. I guess there is a certain point where it hurts and the money doesn't make up for it. Like people still get their feelings hurt. People are still sad when you talk shit, It's not that nice. Okay, what's next? They just need to stop drinking haterade. Facts. I just included this because I love haterade. I love that expression. There are so many people out there, yes, like we've been talking about this whole entire time, that just live for the hatred. They just live for the jealousy and making people feel like shit. And I'm starting to get a little repetitive about it, but that just is true. I don't really know what a remedy would be for that. It's just a mindset. I know that when I was growing up, I was definitely very jealous all the time, and it like manifested in a hateful way for sure. Like I would hate people for like being prettier than me or being funnier than me or better than me in some certain way, or like smarter than me. I fucking hate when people are smarter than me, and that is just a fact. There are a lot of people that are smarter than I am, and I don't like that fact, and I don't like thinking about it. So I find myself hating people for that reason, but it doesn't, then drive me to go online and create a bunch of comments and be like, you're a fucking idiot to this person who I know is smart. Like it's just kind of weird, and it's just a backwards way. Like it's not the way to make yourself feel better by pulling someone else down, and that's definitely something that I learned as an adult. I definitely didn't act that way when I was younger. What's next? They are annoying, but also provide some solid entertainment. This is where we are. This is the problem. They're annoying, and that's it, full stop. Like they should just be annoying. Like sometimes, yes, if somebody makes a mean joke, I'm laughing at a mean joke. I'm always laughing at mean jokes. I love comedy shows. I love raunchy humor. I love questionable humor, like all that kind of shit, down for it. But I just don't think trolls are like that funny. I think that it's so rare when there's like a good-hearted troll, a lighthearted troll. It's just not, I don't know. I could entertain myself in other ways. I don't have to entertain myself with this bullshit. Let's go. Do we have one more?
Nope, that was the last one.
Oh, perfect. Oh, excellent timing. All right, let's shake off all this hate. Let's shake off all this drama. We hate trolls. We're done with them. Seriously, reconsider if you're thinking that you need to be a troll. We're done with it. We're out of it. It's not cool. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week. Mwah, mwah.